I'd like to hear the story of how you first met, which was presumably a few years ago.
Well, Frank and I have known each other for decades.
A long time.
Yeah, with Anthrax and Megadeth. But as far as Altitudes and Attitude came together, we started doing some bass guitar clinics together while we were doing the big four shows with Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and Anthrax. This was in Europe, 2010, 11, something like that. And we just decided, let's create some music that might be backing tracks. That's really what the whole idea of this thing started out as. And then we started, sending each other some ideas. And Frank had song ideas. I had some riffs with some lyrics. And, between that process, we picked 3 of those. We went in the studio with producer Jay Rustin, got Jeff Friedel from A Perfect Circle to come in and lay down the drums for us. And presto, a band was formed.
You're so good at that. Wow. He said everything I wanted to say, but a lot quicker and just articulate. I can't do that.
So at what point did you guys really want to put out like a full album? Because you put out a 3-song EP a little while ago. Where was the point where you guys like, I want to pursue this thing, let's put out a full album? How did you get to that place?
Well, just hearing the vibe from that. The vibe, I have a problem with holding mics. The vibe that we got back and the reaction we got, I think was so strong that, we had more songs, so we always wanted to do it. We just didn't know the reaction. The reaction was so positive, and still to this day, it's incredible what we've been going through recently about hearing what's going on with the single and all that stuff. It's great, so why not and see what happens? And thankfully we did that.
And do you consider this a project, a one-off? How far into the future do you look?
Well, we've been going for, 5 years now?
Yeah, it's not a one-off.
Off of a 3-song EP.
Yeah, it started 4 years ago, 5 years ago with the 3-song EP, and it's stronger now than ever with the the nice buzz we're having here.
And I think people want they want to hear it now. They want to see it. It's kind of the first unexpected surprise of 2019, right? It's kind of like the newborn that came right before Super Bowl, right after Christmas, So,
and that's great to hear. Even hearing that from people's reactions right now, I'm kind of overwhelmed with, and I'm really psyched about it, but I didn't expect it, to be honest. And that really feels good with all the views and all that stuff and all this modern technology stuff, the social media, people really digging it, and we're very appreciative and thankful for that.
I saw that the album was produced by Jay Rustin. Tell me about recruiting him to this project, because I know he did the last Anthrax album, right?
Yeah, last 2. Yeah, Jay is the 5th Beatle for us. He is the guy that comes in and tells, first off, from the beginning, I recommended Jay to Dave for this project because he's a bass player. Straight out, he's a bass player, and he has a great ear. When I say great, he'll be honest and he's straightforward, as he is with us. And he's got great ideas, great sounds, and he's a very mellow dude, and we need that. I think he brings a big portion of A&A.
I think I'll ask this one. I know Paul and I were both interested in all the guests on the album. And speaking of Kiss, of course, you have Ace Frehley on there. New Yorker. I'm sure you've known him since back in the day.
I've jammed with Ace a few times in my life. We talk about this all the time. David and I are diehard Kiss fans, as you could probably tell from some of the songs on the record. To have Ace Frehley on our record, again, this is Frank Bello, going back from the Ace Frehley poster in Madison Square Garden when I was 15 years old. If you were to tell that guy, Frank Bello, that Ace Frehley was going to be on a record with us, playing on a record that we wrote, wow, that would be, I would never believed you. It's a feather in our cap, and I'm still kind of freaked out by it. It's kind of awesome. That's how much of a diehard Kiss fan, so for me, it's very big.
A couple of the other great guests you have on this album, you talked about hooking up with Jeff Friedel from A Perfect Circle for drumming. You also had Christian Martucci from Stone Sour.
Tooch!
What did you just put out the call like, hey, who wants to be on it? Like,
hey,
how'd you rope these
hey,
guys into
come on
it? Right?
in.
Well, the truth of it is we did not set out for this to be an all-star album.
No.
But as we called people, they're our friends. They also happen to be famous. But really the requirement was, like we would finish a track, and often I would say to Jay, I said, let's get a lead part in here. Frank and I would talk about the kind of the section, and Frank would go, why don't we call Nita Strauss? Unfortunately, we got her before she became a big gunslinging famous rock star like she is now. She probably wouldn't give us the time of day now. But she's awesome. And same with Satchel. When Jay had recommended him, and then what he brought back, I was blown away.
I was floored by that too.
It was just his bass riff, and then all of a sudden when we got it back, it sounded like something off the first Michael Schenker record.
He's incredible.
Just incredible.
For that matter, all the players really rose above on this. Even if you're a guitar player, just to check out the record for some of the stuff we have on this.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, some of them. I'm really
We owe a lot of
impressed.
favors, you know that.
We owe so many bass
Yeah.
tracks to all these guitar players. Think about that.
So, are there any tour plans in place? Are we going to be able to see you guys on the road anytime soon?
Certainly, Dave. You want to give? You're good with the dates.
Yeah,
Go
with
ahead.
a spiel. So coming up next.
So Dave has the speaking voice on now.
Listen, tune in for our tour report. No, we. It's funny. This week we're in New York, not only doing media, but our CD release party over at St. Vitus in Brooklyn, Saturday night. We're going to be out at Musicians Institute doing an event and also a performance in Hollywood next week. Then we do the Shiprock cruise after that. And then we are going to be going over to Europe for about 2 weeks with Slash, and as well as some other headlining dates we're going to be doing over there. And, of course, now that the album is out, the phone's ringing for more stuff. So we now have a scheduling problem in our lives.
It's a good problem to have. I'm glad that the vibe is happening. But look, we'll answer the calls, right?
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
we'll take on any calls. I think it's great.
All right, I think that does it. Thank you guys for joining us.
Ruby, thank you.
Thank you for having us.